Episode 2, it's time. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sports Profit Show on the Bleacher Brothers Network. This is the second episode doing it this way. For those of you guys that used to watch on Bleacher Brothers years and years ago, if you're one of the OGs, you remember me. But if not, if you're new to the channel, I was with them doing a show way back in the day. Took a little pause, but now I'm back. And I want to introduce my co-stars here. I got AJ, the head of the Bleacher Brothers Network.
What's up?
What's happening, AJ? And we have Scotty Matthews with SM Picks, who is my host on our other show, Get the Edge, which is a podcast that we've been doing for a couple years now. So I'm really excited to have both of you guys on here. I think you guys have some connections that you don't even realize it. Both of you guys are pretty tight with Jeff DeForest. You guys both know him pretty well. I'm surprised you guys haven't crossed paths yet.
I just hung up with Jeff DeForest.
I know.
He's been around forever, man. 40 years in South Florida. Crazy.
Yeah, I always call him a South Florida legend, man. I had such a blast when he came on our show, Scotty, last year. He took up most of the airtime, but I still loved having him on. Yeah,
I appreciate you having me on, Teddy. Great being on your new show.
Absolutely. So yeah, man. Maybe this show evolves. We never know. This is a brand new thing, and I'm a big believer in evolving. So if we maybe have you on every week, maybe we bring TK on eventually. Who knows? You never know what we could do with this. But obviously we're going to talk about college football. We're going to talk about pro football. But I saw something yesterday that I want to ask. I want to throw the question. I know, usually AJ throws the questions at me. I want to throw a question at both of you guys. I'm going to start it with AJ, actually, because I know AJ's a big baseball guy. Did you see the umpire get most likely intentionally hit in that Tigers-Indians game yesterday?
Buddy, I did not. I don't even know what you're talking about.
You got to pull it up. If you go to my Instagram, I reposted a video of it. So essentially there was a situation where it just seemed like the home plate umpire, was favoring the Indians. He was calling tons of bad, pitches from the Tigers that looked like they should have been strikes. He was calling them balls, and tons of pitches from the Indians that looked like they should have been balls. He was calling them strikes. Did you see that, Scotty?
Actually, I think it was going on during the podcast yesterday. I really have the chance to see it, but
it probably was. So essentially, here, let me do this. Can I send you the video, AJ, really quick?
I can't get it up, but if you have it there, you can screen share down at the bottom, can't you?
I can. Give me 1 second. So
we'll figure
essentially what happened was the Tigers pitcher,
was it a reliever?
The Tigers pitcher, I'm not sure, but hold on. I'm going to show you the video.
The reliever.
He beamed. I've never seen anything like this before. He fucking beamed, and I think it was planned with the catcher. He beamed the home plate umpire. Let's get this on the screen share here.
So was Aaron Judge not on second base, sending in a signal to the umpire, letting him know he's about to take a high heater to the head?
This was the Tigers game. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, you get a lot of crazy stuff going on in sports world. You see recently with the WNBA how they're that Collier, one of the key star players in the WNBA, is calling out basically the commissioner in the WNBA for the way she treats the players and everything else. I mean, baseball players fighting over strikes, balls and strikes. It's kind of nutty.
I know. We're gonna have to get into some more peaceful, calm, kumbaya sports like ball or
Rodney King theory. Remember the Rodney King theory, AJ? Can't we all just get along?
Yeah, we all just get along. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Ted knocked himself out, but we got him back in here. There's his screen share. All right.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to see. Well, for me, I'm on my phone, so.
All right. We got no sound, but I guess these are the I don't know, it looked like a strike.
Right. I mean, these players, I'll tell you, to be honest with you, they every little thing seems to, agitate them. I just don't get it, man. You're playing a game you love, you're making millions of dollars, and you get yourself all jacked up over like some of the most ridiculous stuff. Really, it's crazy.
You know what sucks about this, Scotty? Look at that umpire. I don't know if you can see him, but he looks so freaking young, man, which makes us look so old. This kid looks like he's a high school kid.
Yeah, they got they got a lot of young. Well, now they play in the playoffs. They play with a 6-man crew. During the season they play with a 4-man crew. So they got 2 extra umpires. Obviously watching the lines up and down the third base and first base side. So obviously they watching the game a lot closer. So there's no crucial mistakes made. And now with replay and assistance and everything else, I mean it's pretty tough to get away with much. Balls and strikes, okay, I could understand, slightly off the plate or slightly high or slightly wide, but, come on. It is what it is.
You remember Livan Hernandez when he had that strike zone that was like a mile each way against the Braves in the playoffs? I guess that's what was going on yesterday.
Yeah, he was tremendous. Livan, when he pitched for the Marlins, he was dynamite. His brother too was great. I mean,
yeah. But I remember there was that playoff game against the Braves. Ted, I don't know if you can hear us, buddy, but you have no camera now, so you might want to go out and come back in. But yeah, it must have been, what year was that? Livan Hernandez, 97.
I got to say it was in the mid to upper 90s. Yeah.
Yeah, because they only went to the playoffs twice, right? And won the World Series both times. Yeah, so 90.
Well, they won it in 90. I think it was 97 and 2003, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Livan was 97, and he had this gigantic strike zone that they had. I don't remember the exact number.
And don't forget, remember the theme song they played for him, Elton John's song, "Leave On."
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that was his. That was the song they were pumped up for. Livan Hernandez was that song by Elton John called "Leave On." Yeah, it was like the anthem for for the pitcher.
You guys think they go with a? We'll get off baseball here in a second because I know everyone wants to know about football. But do you think they go with this kind of like this? I think next year they're giving everyone 2 challenges, right? So they're giving everybody 2 challenges on balls and strikes. But do you think they eliminate a human being calling balls and strikes ever? Do you think that's ever something? I mean, because the game's been changing a lot over the last 2 or 3 years. They're implementing a lot of new stuff.
I think it makes it more exciting with the human element in the game. I mean,
I agree.
Out of the game, playing with machines. I mean, it might make it a little stale. I think people like the controversy that that these players are up. They get crazy over a pitch that's one quarter of an inch outside or high or low. I mean, it's like last night. If you watch I was watching a little bit of the Dodgers game. And like these pitches were like right on the line. Players they didn't call it a strike, they were like reacting to every pitch, like making comments to the umpire, turning back to them. I don't know, man. Like I said, you guys make so much money. What the hell are you worrying about? A pitch here and there. Just play the game. Let's go.
I actually have a client who's an umpire. He does umpiring for like high school or something. And I was asking him, I was like, what do you think about, all of this stuff? And he basically said, like, you go through the training, you do your best, but no one's going to be you're going to make mistakes. You're a human being. You're not a machine. And you're going to make mistakes. And, I think you're right. Like, unless the mistakes are game after game after game, and you can see that an umpire shows favoritism. But here's the one thing I'll say. Here's the one thing that sticks to my craw. These players are under such scrutiny, right? You got the player for the Indians, the 2 pitchers that were throwing really bad pitches, and there's an investigation into them now, a federal investigation that they may be, and then you got the basketball players.
Yeah.
Basketball players, they miss an easy layup, boom, they're getting investigated for shaving points off of their over-under point total. So to me, it's like, okay, listen, it's either all or nothing. If you're going to give the players this much criticism, you're going to have to start giving referees and umpires that same criticism because it's not fair. And listen, I'm not a liberal. We all know that here. But
Teddy, there's been a lot of controversy on the umpires, whether it's the NBA or it's baseball of recent. I mean, there's been a lot of people speaking out like that they're making mistakes, they're missing calls. That's why what you were saying, that they're thinking about going to another way of doing business with trying to eliminate the umpires and use technology or systems to take over and put in place. But I mean,
But they're not investigating them like they're
He's got-
investigating these players. So
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. You got to give it to, if you're going to investigate players for bad plays, you should be investigating umpires and referees for bad calls. That's just what I'm saying. You got to keep it fair. You got to.
Well, they got to investigate that quarterback for Indiana that ran 6 seconds backwards.
Did you see that, AJ? QB for Indiana. The line on the game was, the line on the game was 7, but most people probably had it at 6.5, -6.5. Indiana was up by 7 with like 8 seconds left, and it was the last play of the game. And he just wanted to run the clock out, so he ran all the way to the back of the end zone and got a safety, and they ended up winning by 5, and it busted everyone's spread. And the first thing he said when he got in the press conference right afterwards, the first thing he said is, I'm probably not supposed to say this, but I know I cooked everyone's spread, and I'm sorry for that. But what I did like that he said was, hey, listen, I'm just worried about the money line. He goes, I'm just worried about the money line. I can't try to beat spreads. I'm just trying to beat the money line every week.
Well, that means he's trying to win. That's what he means by that.
Exactly. Right. Some people didn't understand that. They were like, oh, you shouldn't have said that either. Yeah. I'm like, that just means to win.
But could he not have run in circles and then taken a knee to run the clock out?
Well, the problem is you got guys chasing him, so he figures I'll just keep backpedaling. I got 6 seconds to kill. There was a 4th down play. The game hinges on the game ending. If he just kills the clock, that's it. So he just kept going back, and then he went down in the end zone. Obviously took enough time away that the game went to 0. So, but it became a safety, obviously, at that point. So they were up 7 on the game. He goes backwards, so they ended up winning by 5. Point spread on the game was anywhere from 6.5 to 7.5. It closed, could have been 7, 6.5, 7.5. You don't know. So it did make a difference to some bettors out there. And how some bettors are. They get pissed off at any little thing that so they're probably accusing this guy and sending him death threats. That how the F could you do that and all this stuff? Because what can you do?
Well, so it didn't affect us though, because you were perfect last week, weren't you, Ted?
I was
out here.
I was perfect in college. I swept the 4-0 college board that I gave out on here last week. Scotty did well on our show, so I'm excited for our picks today. The only thing that really jarred me last week was how bad the Ravens played. I mean, I don't know what's going on with this team. I heard that on 1st and 2nd down, this is mind-blowing. You know how many carries Derrick Henry, the beast, one of the best running backs in the NFL, the workhorse. You know how many carries he had on 1st and 2nd down in the whole game?
Tell us.
6.
6.
Wow. When you have Derrick Henry as your running back and you're only giving it to him 6 times total on 1st and 2nd down combined, you got a play calling problem right there. You have a play calling problem.
They got a lot of injuries too, Teddy. Don't forget. There's I didn't even check. I saw a lot of key players are hurt for them. They're in and out of the lineup. Well, mainly outs. They had about 3 or 4 or 5 guys out of the lineup. So not only are they not executing at proper times well, that's why they're off to this slow start. I mean, they absolutely blew the Buffalo game. They should have walked home with that game on a silver platter, up 15 points in the 4th quarter with a team like that. They're not supposed to blow a game and end up losing on a last-second field goal. They should have wrapped that game up and did what they had to do. Just like you said, bad play calling on that game. Had no shot in Kansas City. They just ran into a buzzsaw. I told you I felt Kansas City was alive as dog at home, getting 2.5. I moved it to 3.5. I just feel you can't get Patrick Mahomes. As great as that team is, as great as their coaching is, and they got some nice weapons, Kansas City. Young guys that are coming into form right now, and they're healthy.
They're getting healthy, yeah.
So, but they got a couple excuses, Baltimore, but, they're not playing right now. And Lamar's hasn't thrown an interception. I think he's got like 6 touchdown passes or 8 with no interceptions. and they can't find
Yeah,
ways.
it's not Lamar's fault. That's for sure. All right,
Right.
so yeah, let's get into some of these college games. One that I love is this Colorado State San Diego game. We were talking about it yesterday. There's so many ways that I feel you could play this game. If someone wants to like do some kind of now, here's the thing about a lot of these same game parlays and stuff. A lot of books don't allow certain correlating bets. So if you bet like a team total under and then the full game under, a lot of books won't let you do that. But in this Colorado State San Diego State game, I like San Diego State on the spread. My favorite play in this game is Colorado State under 17 points. 131st ranked offense against the 6th ranked defense. I mean, this is like as big of a mismatch as you could ever imagine here. I'm surprised. I thought their point total would be 14. It's 17, 16 and a half on some books. So, I mean, it's tough for me to say this isn't my favorite play of the week. You asked me yesterday, best bet, Scotty. As I've looked at this game more and more, this Colorado State team total under, I think I'm going to have to say tomorrow night is my best bet of the whole week.
All right. Well,
now, that can always change.
They're playing good. State. They're off to a good start. They beat a California team that was undefeated, absolutely destroyed them, 34-0. I was way off on that one. I had California going in there as a 12-point favorite, and they got their ass handed to them, lost 34-0. California came back and won last week against BC. So California's only had one loss. California is definitely, much better than Colorado State at this point in time. So you might have something there. I mean, the only problem with that, are they going to get up for a team like Colorado State? Are they going to just go on cruise control? Are they going to sit tight? They're going to just go through the motions to get the win? Sooner or later, that defense is going to crack. I mean, they're not going to be number 6 in the nation all year. No way in the world they're going to stay at number 6. They'll probably start giving up some points when they play tougher opponents. So right now, they're in a good spot, and they're playing the right team to get the job done. So you might have something there with that one.
Yeah. What about you? What are you liking this week?
Oh, I'm loving a lot of stuff, Teddy. I told you that yesterday. I think I gave out a whole poo-poo platter of games. I had the spare ribs, I had the chicken wings, I had the pork strips, the whole 9 yards. But to kick it off, I'm gonna one of the biggest matchups, if not the biggest matchup on Saturday. Number 16, Vandy, 5-0. Joe Pavia, not Joe Pavia.
Diego.
Thinking of Joe Pavia, the harness driver. Diego Pavia, the quarterback for this Vanderbilt team, is just having an unbelievable season. Momentum, scoring 49 points a game, going to Tuscaloosa. My daughter's not going to like.
Hold on, disclaimer, AJ. Just so you know, Scotty has his daughter in Tuscaloosa and his son at FSU.
Yeah.
So both of the premium college football matchups Saturday night. Scotty has some extra skin in the game.
So AJ, that means Scotty's going to get a lot of phone calls and texts if he's right from my children telling me to go F off.
Because he's going against them.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
right.
Vanderbilt guys, I really do. I just think this team right now is clicking on all cylinders. I like the way Alabama's playing. I like the way Ty Simpson has turned it around after that first game. I think the Butterflies or whatever it was, that maybe they weren't prepared as well as they could have been. Hard to say an Alabama team's not prepared for an opening game, but it looked that way because FSU just had a great game plan against them. But since then, this guy's averaging 313 yards a game passing, Ty Simpson. So, he's putting the ball up. This Vanderbilt team's no joke, offense and defense, 49 points a game. I'm taking this 10.5 to 11.5. I'm buying it up. I want to go over the touchdown, the 2-point conversion touchdown and a field goal. I'm going to put it at 11.5. I like Vanderbilt in this spot. I think they can hang tight with Alabama. Even if Bama wins, I think it's going to be a close game. Somehow, maybe Bama will pull it off at the end. If not, maybe they lose this game outright. I wouldn't be shocked either way. But I'm going to take 11.5 with Vandy. Boom.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't go against you there because, Alabama, they looked strong against Georgia, but I think they got up for that game. The only thing, if this was a Vanderbilt team that didn't just do that big upset on them last year, that's the only thing. It's like but I can see them keeping it close. I could see a 7-point game here. I could see them exchanging touchdowns, right? You know those games where it's just touchdown for touchdown and the lead never goes by more than 7 on either side. That's the type of game I see happening here.
Back and forth, back and forth. And another huge stat in this game, and it's tough to stop this when you have a quarterback like Pavia, who can move the ball through the air. How about they're averaging 223 yards per game on the ground, Vanderbilt. So not only are they throwing the ball, they're moving the ball, 223 yards on the ground per game. That's going to give Bama some fits, man. I mean, as good as that team, unless they make mistakes, which they could, and fall apart and do the mulligan, which is not show up that 1 week. I like Vandy. I think they're going to keep themselves in the game, and I got a couple other ones I'm looking at as well.
Real quick, I gotta give AJ some props. I don't want to forget. AJ, I would have never thought of looking at this game last week if it wasn't for you. I slammed Memphis on Saturday.
So did I.
I slammed them. So AJ does press for FAU, so he's on the inside and he knows the deal, what's going on there. And he basically says, Scotty, fade FAU all year long. So I took it. He told me on the show last Thursday. Saturday, I took Memphis minus 13.5, and boy, oh boy, that was close. They actually did keep it close most of the game, and at the very end, Memphis ran away with it. But it was a little scary there for a minute, but it came through for us. So thank you for that one. I cashed. Some of my clients cashed. So
you want one? You want another one? I got one for you for this week. I got a college game. Take Rice.
Are they playing FAU?
Yeah, minus 4.5. It's in Texas. All right, and take the over 53.5.
There you go.
And FAU will probably keep it close for 3/4 of the game, but then they will fall apart because that is what they do.
Nice.
So
you have the tendency to let the wheels fall off the bus late in the games, AJ?
That's it. That's it. And I mean, the wheels fell off so bad that I shut the game off with about 2 minutes to go, covered. And then I was watching the local NBC affiliate, and the news sports guy came on. And he's like, FAU got clobbered. And I'm like, clobbered? I don't even know what the final score was, but they way covered. I mean, did they lose by like 25 or 26 points at the end?
Something like that, 23. Yeah.
But it was real close going.
So basically, they scored like twice in the last 2 minutes, is what you're saying.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it don't matter how it's done as long as it gets done.
Yeah. They're bad. They're bad. They're bad. They're bad. And if you bet against them all year long, you may lose once, but you'll collect every other time.
And my other play that I like in college is this Pitt Boston College game. I like Pitt in this spot. I was talking about this. They blew a 17-point lead last week. And I know why they blew the lead. They blew the lead because their main running back, senior running back, was not playing. If you want to hold on to a lead, you need to have a good running game to hold on to that lead. Because if you can't run the ball, it's very hard to hold on to leads. That was one of the reasons, and the other reason was the 5 turnovers. But once again, a lot of those turnovers were interceptions, or the backup running back fumbled. So you put this I don't want to call him a star running back, but he's their top dog. He's their main starter. You put him back into the mix, you limit those turnovers, and we got a touchdown spread against Boston College here that I think we cover pretty easily from Pittsburgh. And those are my 2 best college games for this weekend. One Friday, one Saturday. Tonight's college game, I'm not touching. I think you said
tough game.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised Sam Houston is still the favorite. I said it yesterday. They were 2.5. It's down to 1.5. I'm still surprised a team that's 0-4 that's not really been doing much of anything against New Mexico State, who's 2-2, no big deal. But still to make them a favorite over a team, at home that's has a better record, that's played as well as them, if not maybe even better, and they're a dog at home. But I think there's some injuries behind that and stuff like that. So this is not a game. If this game was on a Saturday, I wouldn't even look at it. So I'm not going to just play because it's a Thursday, because it's the only thing in town. I'd rather sit out than just chase after a game that doesn't have any importance to me at all. And I don't see numbers on this game that make sense. But I did tell you Friday night, I do like Western Kentucky. Get into a big explanation, but I do like Western Kentucky. I think they're playing well right now. I like that line to go up to buying it up to 3.5 from 2.5. I think it's right. They're playing against Delaware. Both teams are playing pretty solid. Both these quarterbacks can throw. These teams have really good passing attacks. But I think somehow, some way, Western Kentucky pulls it off. I think the number's right. I'll get it to 3.5 with them Friday night special.
The show is so much better with you, Scotty, because I asked him about Western Kentucky last week, and he just
that's AJ's team, man. So
go.
Scotty, just to give you the backstory, when me and AJ did a show a couple years back, probably like 3 years now, when he was first launching Bleacher Brothers before it's much bigger now than it was back then, getting thousands of viewers now, is getting what, like a couple hundred back then, something like that.
Lucky, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was one of the first. AJ wasn't really super into college football at the time, so I come out with this team, and he's like, wait a second. He's grabbing his papers. He's like, the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. I think I blew the top off of his head with that one, and now ever since that, he's always asked me what's going to happen in the Western Kentucky game. So I'm glad you brought that one up.
I'm taking Scotty, and I'm going to parlay them with Rice also, just for the hell of it.
Why not?
Yeah,
take a shot. You got a good quarterback for them is a pretty solid quarterback. They got it's an interesting matchup because actually both teams have pretty solid quarterbacks. Actually, the kid for the other side took over for the starter, got hurt, so he's been doing really well since they put him in the starting role. But I just got a feeling, I don't know, these type of games, low spreads, I gravitate to games like this at times. And being a fact Friday night, out of the 6 games, this is the only one that when it came out, it hit me right away. And I said, this is a nice dog. So I'm going to adjust it to over 3, the 3.5. I think I got some room there to make some money. I wouldn't be surprised if Western Kentucky could win it or stay, this game could be one of those 1 or 2 point games. So I'll take the 3.5 and hope for the best.
So I'm looking right now, and I changed my mind. I gave out. I'm not even going to say what I gave out because I don't want to befuddle anyone's head that's watching this. But the play I gave out yesterday in NFL, I don't even like it anymore. I actually like the under in tonight's game now. It's official, Brock Purdy, and that's your team, AJ, right? The 49ers. Yeah. So Brock Purdy's out. What do you think about this game, AJ? I want to throw this one to you because I know that's your team.
Rams. I like the Rams.
Rams that line.
Rams by 18, 20 points.
That line's at 8.5 now, and the totals come down.
All banged up.
Yeah, the Rams, EJ, are stuck it in my backside 2 weeks in a row. I had them against the Eagles. I bought it to 5.5. You saw what happened the last play of the game. They were going for the winning field goal. It gets blocked, and Philly, 330-pound lineman ran like the wind down the other end and scored a touchdown. That beat me. And last week, I loved the Colts against the Rams. Game was tied with 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and the Rams throw an 88-yard touchdown pass, wide open receiver, no one even within 20 yards of them, and I lose that game 27-20. So I'm going to stay far away because the Rams right now and Scotty M are not having a good relationship. I got to be honest with you. I don't want to. I think they're definitely the stronger team on both sides of the ball. You can't compare Stafford to Matt Jones. No way, no how. This is a Hall of Fame quarterback against a backup, really, that's now a starter. And Stafford's having a good season. Defensive-wise, I would say a slight edge to the Rams defensively. So it looks like if the Rams show up, they could blow this team out tonight, but I don't want to be a part of it.
That's what I'm saying. And I saw it last week too, but when your heart is involved a little bit, you kind of shy away, but I did not see San Francisco beating Jacksonville last week.
My ass was involved, not my heart last week. I said 2 weeks in a row.
So the thing with that play is interesting. If that lineman didn't go on a diet in the offseason, that probably wouldn't have happened. I was actually reading that he went on some lineman for the Eagles that ran that ball all the way back. He
ran faster than if he was carrying 2 television sets running down the field. This guy was running. I never seen a guy move so quick in my life. I mean,
he lost like 20 or 30 pounds in the offseason, went on some special diet. That's why that play happened. He doesn't make it all the way to the end zone if he didn't go on that weight loss. So
and he wasn't even
an interesting one.
He ran to the end zone and he could have ran back the other way, I think.
Damn
And then you
diets.
know what I'm doing in NFL. I'll run through it quick here because I know you got to go, Scotty. But I'm going against two big dogs in the NFL. I'm taking two 3.5s. I'm going with the Broncos plus 3.5 against the Eagles. I think the Eagles play inconsistent football. They can have one good half, one bad half. They can't seem to put four quality quarters together. And they're doing a lot of traveling. They're traveling back, forth, and they're winning by razor thin margins. So you know me. You know I love Bo Nix. AJ, I think it was me and you that we had a little or no, I think was it another guy, somebody on the show that I did with you guys said that they didn't believe in Bo Nix. They didn't believe he was going to be a good NFL quarterback. And I've been touting this guy not only since he was at Oregon, but I've been touting this guy since he was at Auburn before Oregon. I've been watching, I guess I do have a little emotional attachment. You watch someone their whole career from the time they're a sophomore in college to the time they go in the NFL. I guess there is a little bias there, but I've always been a huge fan of Bo Nix, and I'm going to continue to ride him. So I'm on the Broncos this week. And this play I don't like as much, but I'm taking the Jags to cover the 3.5 point spread against the Chiefs. AJ, I was saying this yesterday to Scotty, but the big theme for me this year in football that I'm trying to follow is you are never as great or as terrible as you looked last week. I think that's a really important thing. Now that might not apply to San Fran in tonight's game. I think they are going to be as terrible as they looked last week. But for the most part, you're never as great or as terrible as you looked last week. So I'm going to apply that here to the Eagles. I don't think they're as great as they looked last week. The Chiefs really handled the Ravens. People, they look at a game like that and they say, okay, they just blew the Ravens out of the water, started off 14-0 against them, and now they're only 3.5 point favorites over the Broncos, who aren't really the caliber of the Ravens. But, when you look at the numbers, the Broncos aren't a bad team. So I think this is a fade spot here. Broncos, Jags, all of it. I'm fading the Chiefs and the Eagles this week in the NFL.
The problem, Teddy, with going against Patrick Mahomes, you get it stuck in your backside a lot, man. When you try to beat that guy, he finds ways to always find a way to beat you.
It's risky. Believe me, it's risky.
I've learned the hard way over the last 7-8 years with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, the guy just finds ways to execute, finds ways to keep drives alive. And I don't know if Jacksonville is on the same playing field, to be honest. I mean, Jacksonville's doing well right now. Let's face it. I think they're 3-1 so far. They big win last week. I had them. That was a big game for me. But, when you're going against Patrick Mahomes, you're going against the real deal. And they're healthy. Remember one thing about Kansas City right now. They're always coming in. Everyone's saying they're banged up, they're injured, and they still find ways to win. But right now, they're a very healthy football team. And they're a dangerous team right now because they lost 2 games in a row. Since then, they won their last 2. And they played real good football, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. So if their defense is on, this Trevor Lawrence loves to throw balls to the other team.
He does.
He likes to throw to the other team. I've noticed that. If he's throwing balls to Kansas City, it could be a long night for Jacksonville. But listen, you've done your homework, so you might be right. I'm not touching the game, to be honest. But the one I told you, my upset special, guys, listen up. New England Patriots, I think, have a big shot at going into Buffalo, keeping this game real close, and maybe pulling off the upset, because I think Buffalo's played over their head the first 4 games. And the last 2, they have not covered. They didn't cover against Miami. They didn't cover with that 16.5 last week against the Saints. Patriots are more solid, I think, than both those teams combined. And I think the Patriots have a way right now. And Mike Vrabel is an excellent football coach. He will motivate that team. He's got them on a little cruise control, winning a couple of games. And I like them. I like them in this spot. I'd buy it to 8.5. I wouldn't even think twice. I think New England keeps this game close. Buffalo might eke the win out. Maybe they lose it. Who knows? But I'm not playing the money line. New England plus 8.5 for the money.
Yeah, I love that play. I really, really love that play. I agreed with it yesterday when you told me about
man.
it.
You just get that vibe when it hits you. And I just think Buffalo, listen, they're 4-0. They're not going to keep winning forever. They're not going perfect. They're going to lose 4 or 5 games this year, no doubt about it, sooner or later, I think. unless they have the most sensational season of their history of their franchise, historic history, would have to be this season.
I will say though, Scotty, their window's getting smaller and smaller. They need to make a move here with this Super Bowl. If they're going to win that Super Bowl, they got to do it, and they got to do it soon. Their window's shrinking. But in this specific game with this specific line, I like that. I agree with you, and I love Drake May. Drake May has been most improved quarterback in my opinion from one year to the next.
Well, if you look, yeah, it's funny you say that because I talked about it yesterday on our show. Drake May, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, thrown for almost 1,000 yards in 4 games. Well, he wasn't even in. I think he was out of one of the games, was injured a little bit in one of them. But Josh Allen, same numbers basically, 7 touchdowns, 1 interception, 964 yards. So they almost have the same identical numbers, both these quarterbacks. Not saying that's the reason why I like New England, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that both quarterbacks are playing pretty error-free football. I think the game's going to come down to a defense, and it could be the turnover that makes or breaks this game. And I think Buffalo, 4-0, all right, but they're not covering their last couple. They looked okay against Miami, not that great. And last week they didn't look that good either. I mean, they won, but look who they played. They played the Saints. So be it. I think the Patriots have like I said, they're a more improved team. And I think they're gonna come in there with a game plan, and hopefully they can keep it close without getting their asses handed to them.
Yeah, I like that. We were trying to find a game to go against each other this week. We just couldn't find it, but I'm sure we'll find one next week. AJ, is there anything you're interested in? You have a question about?
Yeah, Dallas and the Jets. Can Dallas tie 2 weeks in a row? I mean, can both teams lose this game? How does it?
Yeah, what's going to happen? Game like this, it's like Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde game, because the Jets, they find ways to, like I said about Trevor Lawrence, the Jets like to give gifts to other teams. They like to give the ball away. They like to fumble the ball away. They're just a mistake-driven team right now. Dallas is kind of similar. I mean, you almost got 2 kind of teams like that. You can't figure them out, because they're not complete. They're incomplete at this point. But I think Dallas's offense is just a little stronger than the Jets. I mean, they're making them 2.5. It's a weak number. I just don't want to bet a game like this. 1-2-1 against 0-4.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Dallas is the stronger of the team. But then CeeDee Lamb is out, so that could affect the passing game there. It's a tough game. Teddy, you might have a better read on this one, but I think
I just don't see the Jets beating Dallas. I'm not a believer in Aaron Glenn. I just don't think this team has discipline. I don't think this team has you already don't have the weapons, right? You have Justin Fields. I don't believe in him. You have I don't know the exact numbers, but Garrett Wilson, they essentially just try to force him the ball. I think he gets like half of the target. They have no offense. It's just right. Justin Fields either runs the ball or throws it to Garrett Wilson. They don't, if you look at
well, that's okay.
Who was it? I think it was Denver. I think it was Bo Nix. I don't mean to toot his horn all the time, but if you look at the way Bo Nix, if you look at their receivers' numbers, they had like 4 receivers with 60 yards or 5 receivers with 50-plus yards. He knows how to spread the ball out. It just seems like Justin Fields doesn't really know how to spread the ball out, or maybe they just don't have the weapons for him to spread the ball out too. So what ends up happening is he either turns it over, runs it, or tries to get it to Garrett Wilson, but you can't just throw it to the same receiver every right. play.
That's why they're making mistakes, because they're trying too hard. And when you try too hard sometimes, that's when you can make those costly mistakes.
Yeah. It's all force. They're trying to force too much stuff, and if they keep trying to force, they're going to keep turning the ball over, and it's going to be a mess. And how about they're fumbling kickoffs? I think they fumbled 2 kickoffs in the last 2 weeks. I mean, you can't make those kind of mistakes and expect to stay in games. So that's what I think about that.
You like Wilson over 62.5 yards reception or under?
I mean, he's all they have. I would have to look at his numbers from the last few games, but based on his target count, the problem is, I think teams know that he's all they have, so they're going to probably be doubling him the whole game. So that would be what would scare me from that play, AJ. But based on, I mean, he's going to get targeted. He's going to get targeted a lot by that quarterback.
He's got 95 against Pittsburgh, 50 against Buffalo, 84 against Tampa Bay, 82 against Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on pace to go way over 62. That's for sure.
Yeah, he's on pace. It's going to be something else.
Number against a shitty Dallas defense. Dallas defense seems like they can let anybody. Teddy and I might be able to run for 80 yards against Dallas.
Wait, did you diet? Did you lose 40 pounds in the offseason? Like
I'm trying to, man.
Eagles? All right.
Hey, the more I'm thinking about this now, AJ, I like it.
I flipped over to better. Took a look. He's 62 and a half.
Yeah, that's a low
I'm going to take it.
Because you said his low is 50, but he's over 80 something on the rest of them, 90 on one of them. So you got to figure his numbers are going to be at least 73, 74.
And this Dallas defense is not impressive, to say the least.
But you know what? You got to watch weather conditions too. You know, this time of the year up in New York could get some rain, could get whatever. You never know. But weather conditions play a role in that type of stuff too. That's why I don't like to put those plays out way in advance. I want to watch more closer to game time because all of a sudden it starts raining and the game becomes a little different. A rainstorm or something an hour or so before game time, those can really change drastically. So
for sure.
You got to watch those. But guys, I love being on with you. Teddy, congrats on the new show. AJ, you're the man.
Hey, appreciate you, Scotty.
And by the way, before I go, game 3 tonight from the Bronx, Yankees, Red Sox. Woohoo! Anybody like anything tonight?
I don't see the Yankees losing this game. You know, the way that Boone has been managing this team, I don't know how far they're going to go. Like benching Jazz, I don't know what that was all about.
Yeah.
I guess because one of his other players had a really good record against that pitcher, a really good, batting average against that pitcher. I guess he was trying to do a matchup thing. But you don't bench a player that's been a star for you all year. I mean, and every Yankee fan I know has been blowing my phone up, just furious, absolutely furious about that move.
But that wasn't even his worst move the first night. The worst
was
move
the pitcher, right?
Out of the game. But yet he leaves Rodon in last night until his arm falls off.
Yeah.
Right.
How was Fried pitching? What was he? A one? How many runs did they have when he pulled him?
0. It was 1-0 game.
What inning was it?
8, I think, or 7.
6 innings. They brought the reliever.
I mean, your best pitcher, you pull him. Yeah, I don't know. Especially in a wild card. It's not like you're in a 7-game series where you're gonna have to use them again. It's all or nothing. 3 games. You got to get it done.
Yeah, but maybe Boone is the genius and no one realizes it. I mean, nobody's thinking to March. The first spring training game, you want Fried to be fresh. So pull him out now. He goes home.
That's it.
He plays on the beach for a while. He's ready to go. He's ready to open up the Grapefruit League.
Yeah, I couldn't bet against the Yankees.
Have a good night.
I appreciate you having me on. I will. Hopefully, I'll see you guys back in the near future.
Take care, Scotty. Good having you here.
Good.
Who do you like in that game, AJ?
I like Stanton to have a big game tonight.
I can't go against the Yankees here in this spot, man. I think they're destined to go deep in these playoffs. I think it was a little bit of a fart, a little bit of a, kind of a slip up moment that they lost to that first one. But
it's hard with Boone though, man. Boone makes so many bonehead moves.
He does.
The guy should have been fired 6 years ago.
And we're in South Florida, so I have a lot of friends who are Yankees fans, and they all want him out. The whole fan base wants him out, really.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I mean, this isn't necessarily him, but they're the first team ever to be in the bottom of the 9th with bases loaded and no outs, not to at least score 1 run. First team in the history of the postseason of baseball to have that situation.
That's crazy.
That stings. But yeah, man, it was good. I'm excited for a big weekend of football. Do you have anything else that you want to know about as far as college or NFL?
No, man.
College.
I'm locked in against FAU. I think that's a good bet.
The only big game we didn't touch on was the FSU Miami game, which I'm definitely excited for. These games are always close. It's a tough game to bet on because your brain tells you, hey, Miami should really blow them out because FSU's had some major issues this year. They haven't had major issues this year, but they had major issues last week against Virginia. And that was obviously one of my plays. I thought that FSU would be looking ahead. I didn't think they would lose the game. I gave out that plus 7.5 because I thought they would win by 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7. Never in a million years did I think they would lose. But I love Miami this year. I love Carson Beck. So I'm not betting this game, but I could see it being – I think the spread's like 4.5, 5. And I could see it being a 3-point game. I could see it being a field goal game. Maybe we get a little wide right action. It's been
Where
a
is
while.
it? Is it down here?
It's
Or is it in Tallahassee?
I think it's in Tally.
Okay.
Hold on one second. It's in Florida. Yeah, it's in Tallahassee.
Okay.
So the line's actually, so the line's come down to 4 now. I mean, the odds makers think the public's on FSU. The odds makers are moving it closer to FSU. So we'll have to see. It's going to be there's some games that I just don't bet on. I just like to watch them, and that's one of those.
I got something for you that's not college or pro football or baseball, but that I really like on Saturday night is prop bet is Messi. Anytime goal, but Messi to have multiple goals on Saturday night because Inter Miami has been playing like a mess the last 2 games. Probably their worst 2 games all season, back to back. Messi didn't score in either game. So it's just a matter of time. And I think on Saturday night, Inter Miami has a big night. Messi finds the back of the net at least twice.
What's the line on a play like that?
So Messi anytime goal is usually, and it's going to be too soon for me to get this line, I think, but Messi for an anytime goal is usually like minus 150. Messi to have 2 goals, it's usually plus 300. And then if you start getting into 3 goals or more, it climbs from there. So it's expected for Messi to score a goal.
Right. But 2. So you're basically, if you want to get a good number plus money, whatever the
2. Yeah. 2 plus goals. And he's 2 is his number. He never gets a hat trick. But he's had 2 goals. It's called a brace.
That's hard,
he's
man.
Had multiple, but it's Messi. I mean, when Messi's on, he makes everybody look like They look like grade school students.
True, and he's doing it at a pretty old age. I mean, I'm not old, but
he's old. I mean, for just 38, and these guys with soccer, soccer gets no break. These guys make a gazillion dollars. Messi gets like 150 mil a year. But they literally have no off season. I mean, their season will wrap up the end of October, and they're back in February.
Well, I can tell you, if you're going deep in the playoffs in the NHL, you don't have much of an off season either. These guys just wrapped up in end of when was it middle to end of June,
yeah.
And they're starting again next Tuesday, opening day. They're gonna be doing this in Sunrise, raising that banner. That's gonna be pretty cool.
It's going to be a cool season also because they got a lot of injuries going in. So they're not going to be great out of the gate, but they're going to be healthy come playoff time.
It's going to be healthy come playoff time, and we're going to get to see what they're made of without two of their biggest stars, Kachuk and Barkov, both going to be out. Now, the problem is I don't know if Barkov's going to make it back. I mean, he's got torn ACL, so he might be out for the duration. So it sucks, it really does, but it is what it is. I think that's what makes the Panthers so great is they can plug and play, and one person's missing, but they just make it happen, and they signed everyone, so I think they'll still be okay without Barkov.
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, brother.
So undefeated again. You want to recap real quick? You want to recap your picks real quick here at the end?
Yes, I'm going to recap mine. I'll try to recap Scotty's. So Scotty, he likes on – hold on, let me just pull up these lines so I don't throw it out. Did you write them down?
I wrote some.
So he likes West – oh, we couldn't forget this one. He likes your Hilltoppers on Friday.
Yep.
Your Hilltoppers on Friday. He loves New England in the NFL plus the points on Sunday. Myself, my favorite 2 college plays are Colorado State tomorrow night. Team total, guys. Team total under 17 points. Now, I would say make sure you line shop because I saw quite a few sports books have 16.5. So you want to go on the books like the like BetMGM, like we always talk about. We always talk about BetMGM, going on there, seeing what their line is, and then you want to have some of your alternative options. So we got the sites, like Legends, where it's not a very traditional sports betting website, but you can still bet on sports. You can still make picks. And the thing is, there's a lot of competition, guys. So all these sites, they're going to offer you different things to try to bring you in. So try to find that site with the 17. If you don't have the 17, try to find a site that maybe gives you an alternate spread on it. So Colorado State team total under 17, and Pittsburgh versus Boston College. I like Pittsburgh minus 6.5. And then in the NFL, I like the under in tonight's game, under 45. I would buy it up from 44. I like the Broncos plus 3.5 against the Eagles. These are scary bets, AJ.
They are scary.
I'm betting two of the scariest bets in the NFL this week. Broncos plus 3.5 against the Jags, and against the Eagles, and Jags plus 3.5 against the Chiefs. Ooh wee! I'm either going to be very happy on Sunday, texting you we did it again, swept the board, or you won't hear from me.
I'll see you next month. No. I think we're going to go. I like the Broncos, man. I really like the Broncos. And I think the Jags are just getting disrespected right now. I think they're better than a lot of people are giving them credit for at this point.
I think we got two live dogs here. I'm excited to see what happens, man. I really am.
Well, and where's everybody finding you?
Finding me at my Instagram channel. It's where all the action happens. It's where we have our free game channel. We have a broadcast channel. So if you go to the Instagram channel underneath, you open up the broadcast channel. I throw a free game or two in there every day at _profits, spelled just the way you guys see it down there. And then underscore again and pick, PICK. Guys, these scumbags. Listen, this is not any hate towards anyone in other countries, but there are scumbags in other countries. From what I found out from my social media guy, he looked into a couple of the accounts, and some of them are in the U.S., some of them are in other countries. We got like 20 fake accounts. They're making fake telegrams. They're trying to get people to pay them, saying that they're us. So if you do not see the blue check mark, which you have to submit documentation to Meta to be able to receive that blue check mark to prove that it's you. If you don't see that blue check mark, block the page and report them because it's not us.
Hey, one other thing before you go. All right. And this is helping me because I've been on a roll. Bee pollen. Joe Bees.
Joe Bees. The bees collect the pollen, bring it to Joe, he packages it, and he gets it to you. It's simple, 100% natural, and it's good for you.
There's only one place to get Joe Bees, and that's from me. Joe B.
If you want to look and feel good, call 877-300-5632.
Helps me pick better. No, but seriously, Joe Bees, since we got with this guy, I've been taking 2 of these a day. And with the exception of last week when I had COVID and the plague and the flu all combined,
I've always wanted to try bee pollen. I actually bought it, but are those pills?
Yeah, they're capsules.
So I bought it just was like a jar of the yellow little tiny beads. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that what the capsule looks like?
No, I'll show you. I'm opening this bottle. I'll show you right now. No, it just looks like a. Let's see, hold that up there.
Okay, so that's probably more ground up then. That would make sense. Yeah, I actually have some in my pantry, AJ. I bought it one time because I heard something good about it, and then I never started. I should try it out. It's
try Joe
Bees system, right?
Joe Bees. I think it's $99, and you get 7 months worth,
wow.
And he gives you a money back guarantee, so that if you get 7 bottles, you can send the last bottle left with 1 capsule in it, and he'll give you your money back.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it's made a difference for me. Lots of people. We have sponsors. I don't go on and on and on about all of them. I dig Joe Bees. I absolutely dig Joe Bees. Yeah, nice. I notice a difference. So,
all right, brother.
All right, man. Have a great
next week. Root for me. Hey, I texted you. I went 4-0, and you did not sound too excited.
Of course, I was excited.
You
man.
said you were sick.
I was thrilled, bro.
Let's see what happens this week.
Let's keep it going. Have a good weekend.
Thanks for the rice play, brother.